And I think, for us to kick this off, the Google Calendar integration is fully coded. I'd probably have to invite you on the back end to like the OAuth or whatever it is, Google, and then also the Go High level.
Yeah, I'm sure you saw what that call was all about. I have partnered with another person to build out their software app. Well, more so software, I guess, for like sales operations, which is pretty sick. Unlike this weather today, which is not very sick. Partnered up with a sales operations type of software, which is really cool because they have started this software in just 1 week. They already have 80 users for one. For two, they have multiple sales teams on this whole software. And you know what's crazy about that? If you search up Luke Alexander, who's also building a bootstrap software for the sales space called Kendo AI, he actually completely disappeared from courses, coaching, which he used to previously do. And now he's fully, literally took this whole year, he basically took a break, never did any of the sales stuff, none of that, bootstrapped his software, and is currently partnering up with massive people in the industry. We're talking like Ty Lopez's, we're talking basically all the big guys, Grant Cardone's, like their sales teams, like huge stuff. So the vision is actually massive. Like if you create such a niche down specific product for a specific audience type that fixes a very specific type of problem, there's no way you don't have such a large, big vision like this. Also crazy because today actually started off as a great day, but somehow I got blocked on Twitter by Luke Belmar, which is, I don't know if you call that some sort of famousness, but I guess I'm making moves in the space and, people are just trying to hate. They're trying to bring me down. The Matrix is like all around us kind of thing. Matrixes aside, I feel like a lot of people have been actually getting their like mind and eyes are finally starting to light up with this whole software, app, and tool space, because people are realizing you can build software, apps, and tools completely from scratch. You don't gotta know code, but you definitely do gotta know a few things here and there, because I'm sure you've probably played with Lovable, Bolt, Anything.com, Emergent, whatever else there may be. There's so many apps at this point for this whole no-code space. But the most important part is obviously giving the right prompts to make sure that you get the perfect results and the results you actually want to get with this stuff, right? Because as simple as it is, and as simple as I might say it is, right? Oh, jump onto Lovable and build out your software in like 5 seconds. That's unfortunately not actually how it goes most of the time, right? There's intricate details, there's back-end problems, there's bugs on the front end. The front end realistically is probably the easiest part, unless you really want to make a beautiful landing page, right? That doesn't necessarily look very no-coded, because a lot of the startups currently in software and tools and apps and stuff, they have this certain look that just screams no-code. I don't think you want your software app or tool to scream no-code. I think you want it to scream professional, $50,000 landing page looking like, and a back end that is, on par with like, I don't know, Microsoft, Apple. In fact, I do want to show you a software that I've actually built out in Lovable, which is pretty cool, because if you think about enterprise grade stuff and you think about real business tools, this looks pretty damn sweet. If you can see like all the animations and the little color changes and the little effects and graphics of all this sort of stuff, the animations. I mean, this is crazy stuff. The fact that you can build this legit in a few, and everything works. Like, look, the sliders work, the color changes work. Obviously, it doesn't change color, but the whole point is it's functional. The pricing plans and all of that, that has certain animations to it as well. And what's even crazier is I'll show you the back end of this software, which is absolutely ridiculous. Check this out. Completely from scratch, like all of this stuff, which is ridiculous. The fact that you can do this in a weekend, in a few hours, and potentially few days. You also don't need to spend $80,000 on developing software. You also don't need to spend 12 plus months on developing the software. The stuff can take, again, obviously very, very quick, and it could be, very, very fast. And yeah, I mean, I think this should just show that how awesome software really is. And the fact that right now is absolutely no better time to have your own software app or tool, right? If you have a big audience too, especially, dude, think about this. Rather than selling a course, right? You might have a big audience already. Why are you selling a course? Why not build an actual business of, exitable company, right? And not just, chill down the courses, the communities, the programs, the one-on-ones, right? That stuff doesn't necessarily change a lot of people's lives, let's be real, right? It might for high-level entrepreneurs or high-level performers. For sure it might. But realistically, it's not something that's, very B2C friendly in a sense. It's B2B friendly. But B2C wise, like business to consumer, it's just, courses and that sort of stuff, yeah, it might help like one in a few, but realistically, let's do some numbers. What are the actual success rates of these coaching programs, these courses, these communities? I've been in a ton. I've also paid for a ton of them. Probably spent nothing crazy, but around 10 grand on courses and programs. And guess what? Realistically, it was just, information that I really knew on my own, and I should have just taken action on it, right? And the best part about this is if you have an idea for a software app or tool, you should take initiative and instant action on it right away, because stuff like this has already been made, and stuff like this is made every single day, realistically, apps and software like this, and you're already late if you're not building this stuff out. So if you want an actual team to build you out, a full-on software app or tool that, for one, you either could sell, for two, you could use for yourself, for three, you could give to your students, clients, or whoever it may be, there's just so many opportunities within this whole software app and tool space and this developer space that is completely changing drastically. Just like the motion of this little beta fish where it went from here to here, that stuff happens quick. So I'll tell you one thing: if you're not in it now, you should be in it today. If you're not in it tomorrow, you should have been here yesterday. With that being said, that's about it for this video. So I'll speak to you next time.